All right, let me checking my mic levels. What's up? What is up? I can't get a camera. I raised there's a big, you know, shelf that goes across at the top here, and I raised it a little bit when I got the new computer. I sort of want to keep it higher, but really now I wish my camera was under it. So my channel fell silent. What happened? Well, it was my daughter's birthday was coming up, and uh, I wanted to do my own birthday thing. And my wife always says, "No, I can't do it that way." So I had to do everything on my own. I do all the cooking, and actually, me and the baby together, or my daughter, she gets mad when I call her the baby. She kind of understands that mom and dad call each other baby, you know. So she's gotten it that it has different meanings, but I think she can tell the difference when you use the definite article. So another thing is I've got a wrist problem, and I don't I was building a lot of shelf cabinets, yeah, with these nut drivers, and I really try not to strain my hands, but I don't even know if I can really play. I need one of those, and I had discarded the ones that I had. One of those gel things you put under your wrist. But in the course of trying to get my channel started back up, I'm trying to think of, like, the thing that has kept me off the last couple of days is just the fact that I shouldn't be using my wrist when it hurts like this. So I'm gonna go to my left hand here to do all this clicking and stuff. Trying to let my hand rest. Hey man, where's my audio? Oh, I've got it muted. Scary. Mm-hmm. Another, guys, man, I'm really sad about war and the wars that the United States. It's really 200 years from now, they're going to see these wars for what they are. They're really connected to, the change that happened through the course of the 30 Years' War and the lack of change, right? And what do I mean like that? It's like really a way of looking at the Protestant Reformation is to see that, well, not just the Protestant Reformation, but the Great Western Schism, when the church broke into the Catholic and Orthodox. The 30 Years' War was awful, especially it's awful for Germany. Could never be forgotten. But all these things happened, like the church was breaking up and they had different belief systems, and the Protestant and the Catholic and the Orthodox, they had different details about how to magically, go to heaven or whatever, be saved and stuff. And people really, Protestants here in the South where I am, they really have that stuff ingrained. I've accepted Jesus as my personal Savior, and I'm saved through faith alone from eternal torment in the fires of hell. There's no hell. That's late. Somebody if you start to go and look at human history, you can see where these crazy ideas come from. But my point is, it's like 30 Years' War was the conclusion of being able to use that as a rationale. In other words, a lot of people know it's not true, right? A lot of people got the idea, they realized that all this stuff about the technical stuff about the Eucharist and all these kooky religious did it proceed from the Father? Did the Holy Spirit proceed from the Father, or did it proceed from the Father and the Son? People, and it takes a long time. And like I said, to this day, I just talked to a lady yesterday that was she had that, that I've received Jesus Christ as my personal Lord and Savior, and saved myself from eternal damnation. And I'm going to pray and hope for it for you. And I'm like, if Jimmy Swaggart is in heaven, man, that's not heaven. I'm going to hell. I don't care. But I don't, this is the thing. And I was telling a friend at my daughter's birthday party, in ancient Judaism, think about how Jews felt. It's like you lived in Egypt, right? And things were okay for a while, but then a pharaoh comes to the throne who's like, I don't care about you guys or your families, and oppresses you, and ultimately, you have to flee out of the country. They really, in the early parts of the Bible, it's clear they hate all that stuff about the afterlife. There was no afterlife. There was no eternal soul. The foundation of their religion was that we were made out of the soil of the ground, and then we return to the soil. That's it. There's some, if you read in Ecclesiastes and Job, I think Job 14:14, really old stuff. There's indications that at that time people believed in reincarnation, that God sends you back to the dust, and then because God is capable of making people out of the dust or whatever, he could call you back. But all this stuff, no. The wars and stuff. Now it's like when you went from the 30 Years' War to World War I, all of a sudden these ideologies start to emerge. It's still heavy on royalty and divine right and all that stuff like that. But clearly there's a change coming. And then it's like, how do we continue to have these knockdown, drag out wars when we can't say it's for Jesus, to protect Jesus or whatever, to save people from being damned to the fires of hell? We're going to have this big war. People just don't believe it anymore. So all of a sudden you have these emergent ideologies that are rooted in, communism really shows the imprint of the Protestant Reformation. In what sense? That history is sort of on a trajectory, right? Going along a line towards salvation, which is going to be communism, right? It's like, but they analyze it. They say there's going to be just a very small group of people that are going to become richer and richer and richer and richer. And then when everybody on the planet is starving and dying or whatever like that, the people will just go, okay, there's going to be a threshold where the people are just going to rise up. They're all going to, because all their circumstances are going to become more and more uniform. The people are going to rise up and bring on the kingdom of heaven, right? And it's like really the Catholic Church and the Protestant Reformation, right? And the Protestant Reformation, the Protestants are the communists, right? And the Catholic Church would be the fascists. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Lord have mercy. It's very loud. I have no monitor right now. And incidentally, sorrowfully, my old... Oh, yeah, that's the problem. Just in my audio. My old TC Electronics, it's old, man. It's from... When was that? It's given to me by a friend. And it's an interface. It's got a FireWire. It's FireWire. That's old, man. It's more than 15 years old, I think. But, and it's since I've been working on my my friends. I had a number of bands with this one guy, and over the years we made a lot of recordings, and he's passed away now, and I used the TC Link to work with the material that we put down, trying to make some videos of it to immortalize it, as it were. It's a sad story. It's like this business that they have in the medical profession when they don't know how to fix something that really hurts. They put you on methadone, right? And it's like a death sentence. That methadone was invented by the Nazis for soldiers that were going to go back and they were going to die. They're already terribly wounded, and they just need to kill the pain and go back to the front and get ready for Valhalla. So when the doctor says, when your grandmother's back goes out and she's in a lot of pain, the doctor says you have to put her on methadone. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Methadone in the long run, I'm an eyewitness to this. Even when you carefully, and my friend who was trying to get off methadone, he would cycle through drinking and taking methadone. So he would try to wean himself off the methadone, and he would progressively drink more until eventually he would snap back to it. So when he passed away, the police wanted to check, was he abusing methadone? I was very offended. They were like, we have to collect. They were like, we have to collect all his medication and everything like that, and get the dates and everything like that, and then we're gonna do an autopsy on him or whatever, and see if he was abusing methadone. And it took a long time, and I was very sad about that, very offensive, because he was personally very sensitive about being characterized as a junkie. But they came back and they were like, yeah, for what he was prescribed, it's clear that he wasn't scarfing down a bunch of methadone all the time. He really died from, bar food and cigarettes. He had heart failure. He needed angioplasty. He had hardening of the arteries and stuff like that. But back to methadone. Eventually, what happens is called methadone delirium, and it's when you see a person like this individual, he could be sitting with you and talking, and he would drift into a dream state and have a short dream, and in the dream, some scenario, oftentimes related to what was happening, would would transpire, and then he would come back from the delirium, and he'd be like, "Wait a minute." He'd sense that gap or the disconnect, and like one time we were sitting around a table, and he was like, "I didn't." He kind of came out of it, and he was like, "I didn't just put a pie in the refrigerator. I didn't." And we're like, "Yeah, man, no, you didn't." And tears started running down. He's like, I'm going into methadone delirium. And we would be sitting and practicing music with each other or whatever like that. And I'd see his head go kind of, and I'd be like, "Hey, buddy, are you on the way out?" And he'd shake and he'd go, "Hey, you know me pretty well, don't you?" But all this, I'm kind of like talking about why my channel was down for 2 weeks or something like that. Things. And yeah, I had switched to, I've got a pretty expensive webcam. It's a Nexigo or something like that. It's a big old honking HC webcam, and so I started using the microphone for it because something was up with the TC Link. I think when I started working on our music again and started actually turning it on again, I was just leaving it on and running my stream through it. So the last couple of years, the damn thing's been sitting there 24/7, turned on. And I probably would have gotten more life out of it. But I guess maybe turned it off. And so I'm not sure. But I really, when taxes came around, I got another streaming kit, trying to modernize a little bit, not be using this decades old equipment. And like it turns out that they've designed this all around phone stuff. So it's almost like when I got it's like I guess it's a podcast kit, and it can be set up to completely do your podcast from your phone, and all the jacks on it, there's only one, like an old 1/4-inch jack on there for I guess it's the condenser mic. But everything else is a little bitty, tiny USB cell phone kind of jacks, which I think is kind of cool, but I haven't figured it out yet. They even didn't print much instructions. They're like, scan the QR code, and the QR code takes you to a YouTube video, which is about a half hour long, which I haven't watched yet. But I may have a new microphone setup here coming up. There's a buzz, I think it's some kind of interference, but I haven't ascertained where it's coming from. I think I know where it's coming from. I think it's caused by the fan. Let me see here. I've got stuff laying over the top of my chat window. But going forward, it's like with this situation, I don't even know if I can play with this wrist problem. I probably shouldn't play until my wrist gets to feeling a little bit better, or a lot better. for those AI aficionados, right now in my stream, the images I've done in the top right corner, the image slideshow or whatever, I've done on CArt, and shout out to cart.ai. Basically, the deal is when you're creating AI art and animation, which is like the bikini girls with machine guns on the bottom of my page is first the images of the bikini girls were created with AI, and then they were animated with image to video in an AI. And this is the early stuff, so I think it's primitive. A lot of those, when you make them, they have to just be deleted. Now, the top right is on CArt, and a lot of times, most of the time, because I use the free version of CArt, cart.ai, most of the time it's just the default model, which I'm embarrassed to say I really don't know what even the hell that is, but I should be able to find out because it works with a lot of different LoRa's. So the experience that you get when you're doing AI art and animation on CArt is there's just a plethora of LoRa's that work with the given model. So I think the default is probably something like Stable Diffusion or Stable Diffusion XL, some version of that. And CArt, I have to say that like when you get on Leonardo AI or whatever, they give you the images they give you free or are blurry, and so only some on CArt are blurry. A lot of them are very, very high quality images. But my nephew, who's a game illustrator, he totally embraces AI and uses it as a tool for illustration, which I highly recommend. If you're an illustrator, that you face the music and leverage AI to enhance your work as an illustrator, to speed it up. And listen, this is the thing. A lot of people, I hear these debates online. Are people tracing, or do they just get it out of their head and put it down on the paper, or are they tracing something or something like that? Man, back in the Renaissance and, people like Albrecht Dürer, that make these very realistic paintings and stuff way back. You can go in books about him and see that he has tracing techniques. One thing he would do is put a threaded mesh. So he'd create like a graph and hold that up like a camera frustum in front of his subject. And so then he could, as a painter, he could stand and look at row and column and pick out one square and perfect the detail in that square. So that's like, what that is connect the dots, because you can see exactly where a line begins and ends when it goes through a little square on a grid, right? And that's connect the dots. And then what you do in between, you try to approximate the curvature as best as possible. But these painters of antiquity that did these big, massive paintings, if they, a lot of times they had some kind of technique to get their subject down quickly. And another is the camera obscura, where you got to paint a big building or something, make a detailed painting of a city scene or something like that, you go out and you set up a tent in the bright sunlight of the day, and inside the tent it's pitch black. And then on the side where your image is going to come through, you make a little tiny hole. This is called camera obscura, right? And the light rays converge in to a point just behind the hole in the tent inside, and then they spread out again, just like a conic, phenomena of the rays or whatever. But they spread out again and project on the opposite wall of the tent an inverted image, an upside down image that the painter can then go and very quickly sketch out all the fine coordinates for a precise painting. So how does this relate to AI and illustration? Well, you're going to have your Wacom tablet or whatever digital device that you use to paint with, and you're going to bring in your AI and then paint over it and change it to what it needs to be. And he was talking to me, it's like going in and out of AI. You may get the image to a certain stage and then feed it back into AI again and modify it again and use it as a tool. So I really recommend artists to do that. I really think it's a good idea to enhance your speed, your workflow by harnessing the AI rather than being a purist and say, you can only draw masterpieces with this pencil or else it's not cool, whatever. My coffee cup is hot. It's great. Putting my wrist on it, and it pretty much kills the pain. So again, on my stream here, the top right is cart.ai. The bottom right, I'm not going to say. But you can find sites. Typically, they're adult sites that are running Stable Diffusion unlimited on their free section, and then the adult content is done under when you actually pay them. But just a tip, I don't want to broadcast it right here, but if you look around, you can find SDXL and Dreamshaper. A bunch of models are running, and if you're not doing adult content, it's free. Just got to go find it and not get distracted by the adult content. That's a vulnerability, folks. It can be addictive. You don't want to go there. That I would just like I told my sister that how I found free Stable Diffusion XL, and she was like, "Ooh," but I don't want to broadcast it here because I know some people have proclivities to distraction. So if you want Stable Diffusion bad enough, you can take the hint and go have a look around because there's free Stable Diffusion XL out there. Guarantee it. Ways to get it. You know what, folks? This will be, I gotta announce this. I'm gonna try to play with my left hand. Ooh. Yuck. I'm getting ready to play with, I'm serious. I'm getting ready to play with my left hand. can't. I can't play with my left hand. Turkeys. Oh. You're getting too far up, buddy. Good. I needed you to die. I'm pressing with my left hand. Oh. Ooh, they're hanging back. Can't touch you that far back now. Here it comes. Here it comes. Come on. Come on. Shoot. Thank you. Please, guys, just hold on. Eva, come on, you're a bot. Step out. Thank you. I can't believe it. I guess I played all right. Yeah, I don't think it was gaming that messed my my hand up. I'm just unloading right there. There you go. Bye. Bye. There you go. Goodbye. Oh, God. Come on. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you. There we go. Been promoted to novice. I think that whole novice professional, really, I would say I sometimes touch master without buying anything. I've never bought anything on this game or paid for, I think it's more interesting. It is humiliation a lot of times, right? But on the long run and in reflection, looking back on it, it's a more for me, it's a more meaningful experience to have an advanced hanger, play with some. I get people that 5,000 and 6,000 squad power that want me right in their squad because of my playing skill and my strategic stuff. So that stuff of like always putting you back, if you don't play, and it's like if I don't play, I get jacked back to sub novice, right? So I guarantee if I play on any account today, it's going to be like, oh, you're now a novice. I always do that, But I've made Grandmaster before without paying anything. And in retrospect, it does feel, you get tired of it sometimes, just people with these freaking ranked up weapons that are, 500,000 damage, whatever. My best hanger, I think this hanger, in fact, is in the neighborhood of 490,000 HP for everything. And, when you go now on Mech Arena, when you go into deathmatch double duel and matching is really bad, people want to do it really fast, so they'll buy and rank up their weapons to where they do massive, so they can go into one round and, you get 500,000, every time they connect with you, your mech is destroyed. Because their weapon is so much more powerful than your hit points. And that gets kind of boring. And for diehard Mech Arena fans, I say this, and this is what I've been doing. Make some new accounts and start up from the bottom. You think, oh man, I don't want to, but it's like, I don't know. It's like a plateau. Let me look at my dang thing. Okay. So what is lacking here is my pulse cannon needs to be in the paint. Oh my goodness. I have enough. Wow. Joy. All right. Now, that's all my coin is gone. Right. So I got to go earn that coin to pop myself up the next level, and then the final rank thing will go up. Let me check my stat growth on this thing. So I will top out on this at 52. So 42. And let me look at so I'm on the way. I'm at 47, and I will top out at 52,000 at the top end of this rank 7. And then there's going to be an acorn expenditure that'll put me in the paint. And then my plan is to go, also this is like a huge, I need to scrap this stuff. My goodness. 24,865 scrap coins. All right, so I think I need 40,000 to max this guy out. It's like what you look at, what is your main mech? So this is my main mech, right? So once these implants are completely maxed out and all the stuff is in the pink, what I'm looking at is a pilot upgrade. So red as an assault pilot might be the one to replace one of these pilots that hasn't been ranked up. I think. Okay, let's go and look at pilots. Oh no, where's the I need to go. No, that's not it. Forgot how to use it. Inventory. That's where I need to be. Pilots. So yeah, it would seem like the next move, using an assault weapon. Oh, it's Mamik Baidya. Let's go play with him. So after all my stuff is in the pink, it seemed like my next goal over the following 3 months would be to get a legendary assault pilot and replace Red, and probably move her into the Ares. I'm not sure. I have to think about it. I was typing it. I was typing Gan. I was going to type Gan, Om Gan Ganapatiye Namo Namaha, which is for removing obstacles, since he's from India. Yeah. Let's see if we can play with this bad rest. No. Down under power. What does he got? 70. Man. Pissed me off. What are these guys hitting? This down under power is hard. Kill this guy. Oh no, 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 no. Ouch. Thank you. Here comes this guy. Chung Noi. More like Noi. Oh. Oh, he's already dead. Mavi Pai just got 2 freaking Helix racks. No, man, you gotta call me. You're gonna have to add me again, bro. I'm moving kind of slow, trying to take it easy on my wrist. But the good news is now that I've played a couple of matches, I don't think that my wrist problem, I think my wrist problem is from doing too much work the last couple of days with the carpentry. And I need to read about that. Like, I almost never use a hammer anymore. I've always had the misfortune of working with people that are like trying to show that they're super manly and strong and everything like that. And now I'm looking around and guys that I grew up with that were all, their hands are like, they've destroyed their, by playing tough or whatever like that. They go out and work, they have like a framing hammer and sledgehammer and stuff like that, banging stuff in. And man, this one guy, man, his fingers they're just like distorted, and he can't even run a circular saw for more than a couple of hours or he'll just be in pain. So work smart, let the tools do the work. And one of the things is like, I was thinking, maybe it would be better if I'm using a screw gun or a lot, or a drill a lot and a circular saw a lot, that I get a foam grip for it to like absorb the shock of the vibration. Cause I think that's what, I've just got this little twinge like right here, just little sharp. It's not like carpal tunnel syndrome. Carpal tunnel syndrome is often, hey, there's my little girl. How you doing, sweetie? Hold on, let me get this thing.
Pants.
I don't need to have these.
I need pants.
Need pants?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. I tell you what, folks. I'm going to sign off and go get her oatmeal. She's up, but her mom has been leaving earlier, and so we're gonna have to make adjustments because 8:30 is when she, or even after 8:30 is when she would normally get up. But now she's up, so I need to go. See you next time.